New product time.
Okay, we've got a whole bunch of new products.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Let's
Ready?
do this thing. Yes.
Okay.
So this is,
Wires.
we got these raw bundle wires, and so these are just like the premium wires that you know and love, but they don't have any housings on them. They're just like the metallic inserts. And so these are the female, like the socket headers. And then, can you skip to the next photo?
Yes. So this is the first round.
Yeah, so this shows it with a housing. Just skip to the next one. So these are the wires. They come in a bundle of 40 wires, and you can pull them apart like a string cheese. And then these are the, also if you also skip ahead.
Okay, well this is another
Yeah, these are the male headers.
product.
So this one you can see, this is a close-up, you can see that it has pointy stuff sticking out rather than a socket. So this is the male type raw headers, again, without housings. And then separately, we sell the housings.
Okay.
So well, you get one of those, and then you get some of these. And these are just the plastic pieces to make your own DIY cable harnesses. Because we sell like the, one-to-one cable, so you can make jumpers. And I tape them up sometimes to make like, 2x4 or like 1x6. But if you're, doing a lot of custom cables, this is a really fast and easy way to make cable housings. And we basically just sell the housings in a pack. So you can see like here's a 2x5 and 2x4 header housing, and you just snap the wires in and they click in, and then it's, basically permanent. They're stuck in, and you can arrange them however you want. So you can like have different pins go to different housings, different cable connectors, whatever. So we've got a set of like 2x3 to 2x7 or something, 2x6. This is a pack that has like larger headers. So like 2x8, 2x10, 2x7, 2x20, 2x whatever, I don't remember exactly. We have an arrangement, an assortment. So you can pick up whichever size you need for the cables you're gonna make. Instead of having like one gigantic pack or selling individual ones, which I'm also like, it doesn't make sense because they're like 10 cents each. And it would be too hard to barcode and package. You just get a pack. And so just pick up the packs and you'll use them. So like 1x1, 1x4, 1x5. And then they're inexpensive, and you can basically make like dozens and dozens of custom cables.
This is like Minecraft for connections and cables.
So I can show
craft
the
whatever you
overhead.
want.
Yeah, showing the overhead.
Showing the overhead. So this is.
I like how you put these together, because you were thinking like someone who does projects and what would be the most useful.
I was tired of myself. So this is like a. Zoom in. So this is like a housing, for example, and then this is, one of the cables, and you can pull the cables. You can pull the cables apart. So you're like, okay, if you want to have them together, you can, or you can just pull individual pieces off, and then you just snap them into here as you like. So for example, here is some male type connectors. And then you just line them up with the input side, which is a little bit wider. So this is like the larger hole. And then these just slide right in. And then it just takes a little bit of wiggling to get them to lock in. But then once they're locked in, it doesn't come out. So that's it. Like it's permanent. The little plastic latch basically latches them in place. And so if you want to make like a custom cable arrangement, you can use standard 0.1 inch headers or housings or breadboards or perf boards or whatever, and these just work great with them. So it's perfect for any basic.
Can any of these snap
connectors.
apart for custom sizes, or should they get the different ones from the different packs?
Yeah, you can cut them and grind them down with a Dremel, but like I tried to basically make the packs have a wide assortment without making it like completely ridiculous. Like it had to be like if it fit in this bag. So you can look at like 3 to 5 of each size, and then you can always tape them or glue them together, and you can Dremel them down. But it's pretty much just design so you can.
Is there a 40-pin one that you could use on a Raspberry Pi, like plug into the GPIO header?
I think there is. I included a 2x10 or 2x. I don't.
Or
remember.
you could combine a few together, because that could be kind of neat. You could just pull out the pins that you need for the Pi.
I think this is a 2x20. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But we also have, of course.
Or you could just use a smaller one and just use the wires you need. But that could make
use
a nice
the wires
little
you want. I mean,
connection,
like it's the thing if you're not using the whole thing. And then another thing is you don't have to use all the positions in the header.
Right.
So if you're connecting
need
the
a few
Raspberry Pi,
wires.
but you're only using 5 of the cables.
Exactly.
Then you just plug in those 5, and so like this is a perfectly valid connector if you only have a couple of contacts being used, but it has to fit into a kind of like a JTAG that there's like 20 pins, but only 3 are used. You don't have to have wires for all of them. So you can do any kind of custom cable. So this is a request by John Park, because he's like, hey, I want to make custom wire harnesses, and so this is a really great way to do that. And then of course, you can split these onto 2 different connectors if you want. It doesn't have to go to the same connector on the other side, or you can cut strip them and solder them, whatever you like. It's a party, a veritable party of housings.
And a little bit of news in case people didn't notice on the blog. John Park, formerly of Disney Pixar, and before that, in addition to Make and Make TV, he's joining the Adafruit team. So he'll
Also
be
known
launching,
as Kevin Mitnick.
No, John Park will be releasing, I think, his first video this week.
Yay!
So he's doing a
Cool.
cool project.
Yep.
So that's
He's gearing
some
up.
news. Okay, so tonight the star of the show, besides Tony DeCola and Lady Ada, is this product.
Yes,
What is this, Lady Ada?
This is
Whoa.
a Teensy adapter that lets you use the Teensy 3.x, the 3.1, 3.2, probably the 3.3 when that comes out, and it will turn it into a feather-shaped board that has the same pinouts as all of our feathers, so you can use our 50 feather wings and accessories, and they just plug right in, but you get all the joy of using Teensy, so that's really wonderful. I can show on the overhead how it works.
And the cool thing is, like, all of those libraries, like, they've imported most of them
They
to the
all work.
Teensy. Yeah,
we
like,
actually tested every
big,
single.
big ups to Paul also. I mean, he's put a ton of support into this, so yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
tested
good
all
stuff.
the libraries with
Yeah.
the feathers, so they'll definitely all work. GPS works, motor wing works. I mean, part of it was the libraries we wrote for feather are all use I2C or SPI. They don't use any weird PWMs or timers on purpose, other than NeoPixel, but NeoPixel is like well supported. So basically, you take your Teensy 3, and then we give you some very short header that you basically solder it into place, and then it just reroutes all the wires around so that analog pins are where the analog pins are on the feathers. The I2C and SPI and serial ports are in the right location, and then you have digital pins and the power pins in the right location. Basically just means that you can you plug in a feather wing in, and then you've got your OLED feather wing, and it just works on the Teensy. And so I really like the Teensy, but I was like, I really don't want to make like a servo wing and then like an OLED wing. I don't want to have to go and remake everything. So it's easier for me to make an adapter, and it fits like very nicely inside. And honestly, it would cost the same amount. Like to make a custom Teensy would cost the same as just having an adapter.
This is nice too. You could start with like a 32U4, like a simple processor, and then you run out of memory, you run out of space. Oh, you get a bigger one like a Teensy that's a lot more memory, and it's easy to just plug it in and put all your same wings on top of it, and you're good to go.
Or you use a Teensy and you do stuff, and then you're like, oh shoot, I want Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, and then you can switch to the Huzzah, and all of your accessories still work. And so like this is, it's designed to be like you don't have to. Like the Arduino shields are a really good idea because Arduino is a large enough design that there's a lot of cross-compatible boards that you can use like most shields with. This is just smaller and battery powered. So the extra space that we had left over, because the Teensy is a little bit bigger, it fits in between the headers. We added a LiPoly battery charger, so you can use it off of a LiPoly, and then when you plug it in, it will automatically charge over USB. So it's charging, and then when you disconnect, it will switch over to LiPo. So it'll switch between LiPo and USB depending on which one you have. And then we include it with stacking headers, so you can plug into a breadboard and then stack wings on top. So that's the fun. Here, I'll run that OLED demo again.
So it makes your Teensy a little bit bigger, but you can put wings on it.
Yeah, but I mean the Teensy is so teensy that
Exactly.
maybe for like a couple bucks now we have 35 different feather wings, from LED matrices and Charlie plexes to OLEDs to GPS
This creates
to
a
data logging.
Teensy ecosystem that's big on value.
We have the real-time clock and data logger.
Oh yeah. The LED matrix and
LED
stuff.
matrices,
and,
all the 7 segments. So it's like all of that
Backpacks.
stuff. Like how much effort is it to make a custom PCB for the Teensy? You can just use.
Yeah.
And we're coming out with the Ethernet feather wing next week, so you'll be
Oh,
able to add
is that a
Ethernet.
top secret?
No, I haven't announced it.
Oh,
I
okay.
shut it off, but
Okay.
So you can have an Ethernet Teensy,
Okay, Ethernet. We're going to have radio feather wings. We'll eventually have
a radio
Wi-Fi
Teensy, a
or
Wi-Fi
Bluetooth.
Teensy,
Yeah, all sorts of good
GPS
stuff.
Teensy, a Phona Teensy, maybe. Like,
Yeah, we'll have all
Wow.
sorts of like add-ons. So like now that like the feather line has been sort of like it's solidified. We've been doing feather for like almost a year now.
Yeah.
It's been since September when we first like previewed
Yeah.
it, And really, it's just November since we've been releasing boards, but it's been, you know, this continuous.
So if you have a Teensy hanging around in the drawer, now it has a whole other life.
Now it has all these things that you can do with it.
Okay.
So there's a flock of feathers.
A flock of feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boards of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and with that, Lady Edit, that was new products. Good work.
Yay!